What's up? This is Brave, and I'm here to review the first episode of Bling Empire. Why didn't anyone tell me about this show? This is literally Crazy Rich Asians on steroids, because they have money, like the real kind of money, the money that most people have never seen in their life. So let's go ahead and talk about episode 1. So we start the episode off and we meet Kevin. He's just a regular Asian guy. He grew up in Philadelphia. He happens to be a model, but he still lives a very regular life. He does not come from the money that the rest of the cast comes from. He happened to move to LA and meet up with some Asian people who happen to be rich. And when I say rich, I mean rich. One thing to note, he was actually raised by a white family, so he had very limited access to knowing his own Asian culture. And I have my own personal feelings about people who tend to adopt children who are from a different culture than their own and not try to still have that child be accessible to things in their heritage and in their culture. For example, I feel like if you're adopting a child who is from China, because I know that was a big thing at one point. There was a lot of white people adopting children from China. But if you're just going to raise them completely American and not try to have them meet other Chinese kids, have them, learn about the Chinese culture. What justice are you really doing? Because as that child gets older and older, as much as people don't want to talk about race, it is a big thing. And if you are of another descent than your parents, then the world views you differently, and also you're going to feel a disconnect between your own culture and what you've been raised in. You could be raised in white culture all you want, but at the same time, your own instincts and roots, you want to be connected to what makes you. You know what I'm saying? So the next character that we meet is Kane, and his family comes from oil, shipping, tanking, and real estate. They own shopping malls all over East Asia. In this scene, we see Kane. He's basically styling Kevin, because after watching this episode, everybody knows that Kevin can't dress. Everybody knows it, that he can be a model, he may look good, but the man cannot put an outfit together at all. So he's trying on these clothes, and I mean Versace drawers and Prada shirts, and this is not something that's usually in his budget, but Kevin does say that Kane has always made him feel comfortable within that friend group. And just him saying that made me really like Kane, because there's one thing to be the friend who doesn't have, as much as your other friends. But to have somebody really be in your corner and be like, nah, you cool, we good. It doesn't matter if you don't have the money or the lifestyle that we have. You're still my friend. We still gonna ride together. And I'm like, okay, I like this. So we next meet Christina. I'm sorry, not Christina, Christine. She's having an event for Chinese New Year, you guys, and she is shutting down Rodeo Drive. Now, if you are from LA, or if you visited, you know that Rodeo Drive is still a very elite area for shopping. And the fact that she was able to shut that block down is crazy to me. She got money if you could shut down Rodeo Drive so that you could throw a party. So one thing that she said I think she was having a meeting about the party, that I really did like to hear, was that for every person who was a guest, her and her husband were going to sponsor a child in China. And I'm like, that is amazing, because to throw a party that's going to be very lavish and have all these people, and the fact that you have enough money to sponsor some children who don't probably have access to the same things that, we have access to here, that's amazing. Because I would assume that she may probably sponsor some kids that are in like a Chinese orphanage or something. And kudos to her for that. Now, Christina got some... I still keep calling her Christina. Christine has some ways about her, but we're going to touch on that a little bit later. We see that she's married to her husband, and he is a 24th generation descendant of the Song Dynasty. I mean, I remember learning about the Song Dynasty when I was in school. So it's crazy to know that, like, there was a chance if the dynasty was still going and thriving and still ruling, he would be next in line to be an emperor. An emperor, you guys. So, in her culture, though, we learned that there's an expectation on women to have a son. Now, I remember learning about this a long time ago when I used to watch documentaries about how China had their one child rule, and how a lot of families, if the woman had a female child, she would leave that baby in the park, because in the Chinese culture, they just want you to have sons. That's the only thing they want you to have, because according to them, that's the heir to the family. And honestly, that was one of the reasons why I really didn't want to adopt a daughter from China. But of course, I would definitely have her be all into the Chinese everything, because I don't believe in adopting children of another race and not them having access to their own culture. But it took her 11 years, you guys. 11 years to finally have a baby that happened to be a male child. And she said that that's her little miracle baby. And I'm like, oh my God, he's so cute. I am happy that she was able to have her baby with her husband, because I can only imagine the stress that she must have gone through, knowing that his family, probably her family, want her to have this baby. The next person that we meet is Kelly. She is dating an actor who is the Red Power Ranger. He goes by the name Andrew. And, I mean, he's a cute guy. I'm not even gonna lie. Andrew is cute. But baby, absolutely not. The way he treat her, oh, hell no. Hell to the no. Because the story that they gave us in the beginning of this episode was one thing. And then when we saw him later, that was a whole nother story. They gave us a lovey-dovey story about how, they're just so into each other. But he showed his ass later on. I'm going to talk about that. So, the things we learned about Kelly, baby, she was married before when she was in her 20s. And they were her and her husband were spending $400,000 a month. Y'all, most people are not even reaching $400,000 in like 20 years. Like, what? That number blew my mind, that you can spend $400,000 in a month. I'm like, what are you buying? Jets? Like, what are you buying? Houses? What are you buying for $400,000 in a month? But come to find out, baby girl was married to a scammer, y'all. He was a straight up scammer. He scammed, was it one of the biggest cyber scams or something like that? It was one of the largest cyber scams in American history. Baby, the police came and, scooped all of that up, froze the accounts. He went to jail, and they had to give the government $168 million. $168 million because his ass was out here scamming. That's crazy. So now she's an entrepreneur, and according to her, she only dates for love, but she needs to go ahead and leave Andrew. The next cast member that we meet is Anna Shay. She is half Japanese, half Russian. She got her money from her dad selling weapons. And this scene right here blew my mind because she's out here swinging a mallet on the wall because I guess she's trying to tear down a wall in her closet. But the whole time, baby girl is dripped down. She has on a red evening gown. Baby girl got diamonds around the neck and out here swinging a mallet. I'm like, girl, what are you doing? I just could not believe that scene, that she's supposed to be getting ready to go to some party and she out here swinging a mallet trying to tear up the closet. Like, I cannot. So, y'all, we get to this party. Baby, I've been to Rodeo Drive plenty of times and it ain't never looked like that. Christine did her thing, okay? I mean, I want to go to celebrate somebody's Chinese New Year. When Kane said that, there's money in envelopes and you just collect them and open them at the end of the night or like the next day, I'm like, yes, sign me up. I just want to collect money in some red envelopes, okay? So we see Anna and Christine and they're talking and chatting or whatever about traveling and where they usually stay at. Now, in the confessional, Anna says that Christine used to be super down to earth, but now she's always name dropping. And I can't lie. In this conversation, Christine was name dropping left and right and left. And I can see how that can become annoying after a while. So after that, we happen to see Kane. He went to lunch. This is after the party. It's the next day or something. Kane, he's at lunch and he's just telling his friends about how his dad offered him a building and wants him to get into the oil and gas business, but he wants to stay in real estate. He's like, that's where his spot is. He don't want to get any deeper into, his dad's things that he has going on. We meet Jamie. Oh my God, Jamie's really cute. Her dad is a billionaire. The money comes from Silicon Valley. And she quit college, moved on into fashion. And that's pretty much all that we got about Jamie so far. But she seemed really cool. Kevin is sitting there and he is like straight up flirting with Kelly. So this is where we learn that Kevin is into Kelly. But we all know she in this little relationship or whatever. But she need to give Kevin a try. I'm just saying, I know he ain't got money like everybody else, but she need to give Kevin a try. We then see Kelly and Kane. They meet up with their friend Kim, who's a DJ. And honestly, one of my biggest dreams is to become a DJ. So she's like inspiration because baby girl is killing it. She's like selling out shows that have 50,000 people there. And she's on her grind. Love to see it. She ends up coming to meet up with Kane and Kelly. And she brings her mom. And you can already tell that her and her mom are super close. And I thought it was so cute when her mom was telling her how to pose. If you're going to wear a jacket, you're going to take it off like this. I'm like, okay. Her mom is cool. Love to see a cool mom. So in the next scene, we have Anna Shay. Baby, if this ain't some rich people shit, I ain't never seen nothing like this. Anna Shay is literally flying Kelly and Andrew out for Kelly's birthday. Right? That sounds real cool. You going to Paris for someone's birthday, right? Oh, but it's mainly because she wants to take them to her favorite restaurant, which happens to be in Paris. I wish somebody would fly me out and be like, we're going to go to this restaurant just because I love it so much. Like, what? That's crazy. So they get there. Anna Shay is out here telling them like, oh no, try this on, put this on. Basically saying y'all clothes don't fit the Paris aesthetic. So I'm going to need y'all to step it up. Okay. They go out there, like the ladies go shopping, baby. Anna Shay got the hookup because she shut things down when she comes in town, okay? She literally shut the stores down so that way she can shop in peace, okay? I said, ooh, look at her. So, while they're, shutting things down in Paris, Andrew calls Kelly. And this is where things go left for me when it comes to Andrew. He was literally going off on her because she let his ass sleep because he was tired while they went shopping. And Anna Shay, you can tell from her look, like watching Kelly interact with him on the phone, she was like, oh, absolutely not. It wouldn't be Anna Shay. Anna Shay would never, okay? Like Anna Shay said, there ain't no dick in the world that's that good, okay? I'm sorry. The way that Andrew was talking to Kelly was out of line. He was yelling at her. And I mean, he was like going in and going off on her. And I'm like, you're mad because your ass went to sleep and she let your ass sleep? Like, if anything, you should be grateful that she let you sleep and she didn't drag you all around Paris while these ladies shopped. Like, come on. So, the next scene, you guys, we have Christine. She's meeting up with Kane at the Ducati store. And here's the crazy thing. She comes in with these two bodyguards. And I'm like, oh, shit, that's how she moving? No, it's because today she was going to be moving her jewelry from home to the bank, I believe. And she's in the Ducati store because she swears she needs a motorcycle. She don't need no damn motorcycle. She don't need a thing. But her and Kane, they just have a conversation about Anna Shay and about how she felt like Anna Shay brought out her big girl diamonds when she came to the party. But I honestly think that Anna Shay, she probably wore those diamonds because they fit the style of the dress. Like, it went, honestly, her dress went with that necklace. So Kane asked her, can he see the damn jewelry? Y'all, they're in the middle of the goddamn Ducati store. Talking, like, she, opens up the bag of the jewelry. And I mean, like, the necklace was beautiful. I can't even lie. It was a beautiful necklace. But I'm like, y'all really doing this in the middle of the Ducati store? I don't even understand. Like, this is some real rich people stuff. So she jokes like, oh yeah, when I see Anna, I'm going to wear this necklace. I'm like, okay, maybe she's just joking. No. So, in the next scene, we see Andrew and Kelly. They have a conversation, and he's realized that he overreacted. And I'm like, this red fucking Power Ranger, he put on his best acting, baby. He literally acted his little ass off in this raggedy apology that he gave her. I mean, sniffles and all. Baby boy was about to have tears streaming down his face. And I'm like, Kelly, he's playing you. If this is how y'all argue and then he comes back to you with these same apologies, it's time to go, baby. It's time to go. It's time to go because he's just like, he's at this point, he knows that you're going to take him back. It's time for you to flip the script and leave Red Power Ranger alone. So, in the next scene, we see Kevin. He meets up with Kim and Jamie at the pool. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I like that, all the friends are just mingling all around. We learned that they are paying $19,000 a month for rent. $19,000 a month for rent. Like, I know that rent is high in LA, but baby, it ain't $19,000 a month high. Well, it's funny because while they're saying this, Kevin is like, yeah, I pay like $1,000. I got a roommate, basically. There's a shared bathroom, a shared living room. They're like, that's not even going to get me a pair of high heels. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I can't with this show. Like, the richness of it all. So, he ends up asking Jamie though, like, oh, so you make $19,000 a month to pay rent for this place? And she's like, no, I actually have like a trust and stuff. I'm like, I can't. I promise this show is just too rich for my blood, you guys. So they're just like still talking or whatever. And this is when I realized that Kevin brings the fun to the group, because he jumped in the pool, he got the other ladies wet, and like they were having a good time. And I'm like, okay, I can definitely see why Kevin hangs out with these people. He loosens them up a little bit, and he just seems like a guy that likes to have fun and be comfortable. Like, love me some Kevin right now. So, you guys, we get to Anna Shay's party. Now, this party is at her house, and baby, house is nice. Now, there were all types of cars in this driveway. I'm like, oh my gosh, the money is just out of control on this show. So, while we're at the party, Christina arrives, and she's actually wearing the necklace that she talked about earlier. And I'm like, okay, she said she was gonna stunt on Anna real quick, and she did. So they meet up, and she like, the thing is that Christine, she really is the one who kind of gets this thing started, because that necklace honestly didn't even go with her dress that well. She definitely could have worn another piece of jewelry. But she's like, oh, Anna, do you recognize this necklace? And Anna's like, yeah, I have that necklace. I got that. And she's like, oh, you'll tell me when you wear yours, and I'll tell you when I wear mine. I'm like, girl, why are you trying to play with Anna like this? I don't think Anna is the girl to be played with. Baby, she's not here for the competition. But if Christine want to play, she ready to play. Because Anna went over to that table and rearranged them seating arrangements. Baby, she sat Christine and her husband all the way at the end of the table. And I mean, they were so far at the end. The friend group was like towards the front in the middle, They were the last couple on the end. I was like, oh my God. I cannot with the pettiness. So now, like I said, the games begin, because I definitely laughed at the fact that, they're like cheersing. Christine is like, oh, I think there's a cheers going down there. And I'm like, oh gosh, I don't think that she liked that too much. So I'm going to assume that in the next episode, things are going to get even more competitive, and I am ready to watch. I'm so ready to watch episode 2 so I can review it for you guys. Go ahead and let me know what you thought of the episode and who are your favorite cast members. And go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will talk to you guys in my next review that will be coming up shortly, okay? Because I'm definitely tuned into the Bling Empire. All right, guys. Bye.